Welcome to another episode of what I'm doing right now. I've been on vacation a little bit. I've done the concert videos, all of that stuff that I've been doing prior. Well, I finished the BBZ. You can go here and watch the BBZ courses. But this is a new series. It's part one of eight. And this series is called The Conscious Consumer. It's still a part of what I'm doing right now because obviously it's what I'm doing right now. But it's an eight-part series. The videos are going to be 3 to 5 minutes long. And this is the introduction, but it's also a topic. And that topic for today is going to be the difficulty of starting a business. So, not a long theme song this time, real quick. It's going to be the picture, and then we're going to come right back and get started. Let's get it.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
All right. So, like I said, not a long theme song this time, but let's jump right into the discussion. So, if we're getting into this talk on the conscious consumer, what has to happen is I have to lay a groundwork for the discussion. But I don't want to jump right into the conscious consumer because what I want to do is build you up to a point where you get what I'm talking about. So, what I have to come with is a discussion on the difficulty of starting a business. So the first topic, like I said, was the difficulty of starting a business. Now, I have two things that are primarily the difficult aspects of business, but there's more than two, and I'll get to one of those in particular later in the video. But the first thing is capital, right? Um, the next thing for me that's really important in trying to start a business is brainstorming. So I would say capital and non-brainstormed ideas are basically the hardest aspects of starting a business. Now, capital isn't that important when you think about this. If you're starting a business that's like a service-oriented business, let's say something like massage therapist or a financial literacy consultant or a web designer. If you're starting those kind of businesses, you know, you don't necessarily need capital. You need capital when you're starting a business like a shoe store or you're starting a beauty salon because you have to buy products, all right, and you have to sell those products. So you're going to have a infusion of cash up front. But you can get around that by being a little bit ingenious, all right. So your ingenuity will help you to get around the idea of capital. You can do pre-orders or you can do a Kickstarter. You can do something that'll help you out. But this is the thing. You can start a business that's more service oriented without capital. What's more important than capital is time. All right? Time is very important. And when I get into time, I want to move towards the next thing that I talked about, which was brainstormed ideas. Um, the most difficult part of starting a business is the inability to brainstorm with someone or a group. Most people feel like if I tell someone my idea, they're going to steal it, or you think you're going to give away your idea, and you don't realize that your idea is not um, new, really. So you don't have to worry about giving it away so much. You really want to get it out there and flesh it out and work on those ideas and get people who may have gone through it to help you out, which leads me to a discussion on mentors. If you can find a mentor, you don't need a big group to brainstorm with. You maybe just need that mentor. But this is what typically happens. An idea is born, but it's not developed. And although that's a tragic aspect of trying to start a business is that you can't get someone to talk to, that can be countered by reading. The problem is most people choose motivational books over books that have directions. Why buy a How to Be a Millionaire book when you haven't even learned how to make $5? You have to buy something that's more specific in its direction. How to code or how to cook cupcakes. That's the kind of book you should buy, like a how-to book. Um, the books that provide temporary motivation, they really don't help you that much. All right. So the difficulty in starting a business is basically the fact that there's an inherent difficulty, and that difficulty is fear. While the lack of funds and inability to network can stop you, it's primarily fear. So if you can get a group of people to brainstorm, you can diminish that fear. If you could do a lot of research, you can diminish that fear. All right. So really, it's all about the reality of your situation. But that leads us to next week, and I don't want to go ahead. And I'm not going on a week. I think I'm going to do this every day. So I'm going to try to get through these 8 topics in the next few days, and hopefully it'll help you out. But if you like what I'm talking about, or if you have questions, please leave questions or comments. Share the videos if you dig this. All right. And subscribe to the channel. But I'll see you on the next episode. And I hope that this opening is strong enough to bring you back to the next episode, because it's going to get a lot more detailed in regard to the conscious consumer. So come on back, and we're going to figure this thing out. And hopefully it will help someone to really get started. Part 1, difficulty of starting a business, the conscious consumer. Peace.
Yeah.